Hello everybody, I'm Jack from Jack Loves Movies, and today we're going to be talking about the movie Scream, a 1996 slasher that redefined the genre. Hope you guys enjoy. Now before we start the video, let me just get a couple things out of the way. First off, I am by no means a horror movie fan or really into horror movies at all, but it is Halloween time, so I figured I might as well put a couple horror movies up. I'm going to be doing the first and second Scream movie, so if you want to see the next one, make sure to subscribe. And I will probably not do horror movies ever again on this channel throughout the rest of the year, just around Halloween time. Also, from this point on, there will be a massive spoiler alert, so keep that in mind. And if you don't want any spoilers, go and watch the movie before you watch this video. Okay, let's get into the video. We start off the movie seeing actress Drew Barrymore playing teen Casey Becker making some popcorn. Soon she receives a call from an unknown number. The call starts off innocent with questions like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" but soon turns sinister. Soon she finds her boyfriend tied to a chair outside, dead, and the antagonist, Ghostface, chasing her through the house. When it seems like she might escape and make it to her parents, she is unable to because of her inability to talk, due to Ghostface choking her earlier. I think this is a fear we have all had, trying to call out for help, but not being able to. She's killed by Ghostface, a shocking death considering how big of an actress she was at the time. Most people, when first seeing the movie, thought she would be the main character, but they were wrong. Then we get to meet the actual main character, Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell, another big actress at the time. Sidney's mother was sexually assaulted and murdered when Sidney was just a young girl. Sidney identified the killer as a man named Cotton Weary, something that ends up being more important in the second movie. The police are at Sidney's high school interviewing kids, trying to identify any potential suspects of the murder of Casey Becker, the girl in the opening scene that got killed. At this point in the movie, we get to meet Sidney's friends. And in my opinion, the acting here just isn't very realistic, because I can't really picture kids joking about the murder and gutting people in front of this girl whose mother was murdered right in front of her when she was little. It just doesn't seem very realistic to me. Later that night, the killer attacks Sidney in her own home, a truly scary chase sequence resulting in Sidney getting away and seeing her boyfriend, Billy Loomis, right outside her house. Suspicious. Sidney tells the police she thinks her boyfriend, Billy, is the killer, and he is taken into custody. However, Sidney later learns that Billy isn't the killer when she gets another call from Ghostface that night, whilst Billy is in prison. The following morning, Billy is let out of prison and school is cancelled because of the murder of Casey Becker and attempted murder of Sidney Prescott. This is when we meet Gale Weathers. She wrote a book about Sidney's mother's murder. She believes Cotton Weary is innocent and Sidney was too young to identify the killer correctly. She tries to ask Sidney some questions, but instead of a response, she gets a punch in the face. Something I think we all saw coming. Now that school's out, what do the kids decide is a safe idea? To have a party, of course. It is somewhat safe, though, because there is a police officer there. Sidney's friend's brother, Dewey. He is one of my favorite characters in the movie, with just a good personality and some pretty funny lines. The party gets started, and this is where we get some of the most iconic lines out of the movie. Probably the most notable being the rules of how to survive a horror movie. I'll let Sidney's friend Randy enlighten you.
Certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Big no-no! Big no!
I'm a dead man.
Sex equals death, okay? Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs. No, the sin factor. It's a sin. It's an extension of number 1. And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances say, "I'll be right back." Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
While Randy is teaching everyone how to survive a horror movie, Ghostface kills a girl in the most creative way, in my opinion, out of the entire movie. When trying to escape Ghostface, she tries to escape through a doggy door in the garage. However, Ghostface puts up the garage, killing her in a way I'm not sure would work in real life, but is still pretty creative. Suddenly, chaos breaks out at the party, with people getting killed left and right. After the chaos seems to be over, it is revealed that Sidney's boyfriend Billy, and other friends too, are the murderers.
Help me, please.
Surprise, Sidney.
That's right, there were 2 killers this whole time. a realization that shocked many people when they first watched the movie because of how untraditional it was, really. The killer's plan is to frame Sidney's father, who is tied up in a closet nearby, to have killed everyone and then himself, with the two killers barely escaping. They think this will work because Sidney's father had been a suspect in the whole murder case, and it is the anniversary of his wife's death, or in other words, Sidney's mother's death. However, Sidney isn't having any of it, so after a short scuffle and lots of fake blood later, Sidney kills both of them with the help of Gail, the reporter she punched earlier. Gail had been there to try and get some coverage of the killer and ended up saving Sidney's life, actually. We learn that Dewey, who had been stabbed in the back during the scuffle, is okay. So is Sidney's friend Randy, who was shot during the scuffle. Now that we've covered the story of the movie, let's get into my personal thoughts. Overall, this movie, Scream, did extremely well at the box office, being dubbed the highest grossing slasher film until the new Halloween movie came out in 2017. And I can definitely see why this movie did so well. It was just fun to watch. What made this slasher movie different from so many others around the time was the way it poked fun at slasher movies in general. It did this with all of the people in the movie being in a reality with other horror movies they watched, like Halloween or Friday the 13th. It also had tons of funny references to other horror movies. Overall, I really liked this movie because of the way they made you really care about the characters, which is rare for a slasher movie. The movie isn't that scary, but if you're looking for a more lighthearted slasher, I would definitely recommend you watch this movie. Now, before we end the video, let's talk about what was, in my opinion, the scariest scene in the movie. The scariest scene, in my own personal opinion, was at the beginning, particularly the line,
Oh?
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
This was super scary to me, and what followed was even scarier. Alright, that is going to be all for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and make sure to tell me your favorite scary movie in the comment section down below. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and make sure that whatever you do in life, to be creative.